Hi folks, so in this video, I'm going to give you a walkthrough of what the Telehealth 101 course is all about and who is it for, because I've been getting a lot of questions by different people, what it includes, what it doesn't include. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about it before, and then we can kind of slowly walk through the different modules that are included in the course so you can help decide if this course is a right fit for you or not. So first of all, Telehealth 101 course is for physical therapists who are looking to start their own side hustle or a side practice that mainly includes it's either exclusively telehealth or is a combination of in-person and telehealth, but they're planning to start something of their own on their side. And because the course does include a good portion of marketing and stuff like that, so those are the type of people who are interested in the course and have benefited from the course. Of course, people who are already working with a corporate type setup can also benefit from the course, although I know that a lot of corporations have their own policies and procedures in place, so they may not give you as much flexibility to come up with your own guidelines. So if you are in a situation where the guidelines are already set for you by the upper management and you don't really have that much of flexibility in changing those guidelines, then you should definitely, think about this course because it may not be the right fit for you. But if you're someone who's looking to start something of their own, either on the side or you're ready to jump into it full time, then this course is a perfect startup for you. Also, as a heads up, the clinical skills aspect of this course, because I'm extensively and exclusively trained in the McKinsey method, a lot of things that I talk about are related to that. However, I'm not teaching the real clinical tidbits in this class. What I'm teaching you is how you can transition your existing clinical skills to a digital platform. So you could be trained in, McKinsey, you could be trained in Mulligan, you could be a women's health specialist. I've been talking to people who want to do something in wellness and teach Pilates and those types of things online. So, you already have the skill set, and the idea is to be able to transition that to a virtual platform effectively is what it mainly includes. So now I'm going to walk you through the different modules of the course so it can help you kind of understand what the different aspects cover. So I'm going to share my screen here. Let's see. Okay. Now that the screen is shared, let's go here. Okay. So as you can see, the course, the Telehealth 101 course here, it has 5 main modules, and I've been adding bonuses as we go, and I kind of, keep updating the bonuses and keep making updations, but this is how it looks like as of now. So in module 1, I talk about the basics of telehealth or getting started with telehealth. And this module includes, first of all, the why of you need to have telehealth in your practices, or why you should consider it. That having telehealth in your practice may not be the right fit for everyone, and if that's the case, you might as well decide that early on. But my point is that if you want to have telehealth in your business, you should do it for the right reasons. I see that a lot of big corporations, a lot of physical therapists and other practices are using telehealth because of the coronavirus pandemic, and all of a sudden they have this realization that digital is the way to go. So if that's your reason, I don't think that's the right reason for having telehealth into your practice. If you really want to dive into this, you want to have telehealth in your practice for a long term, so you want to invest in it fully. So I think if you don't understand the why of why you are having it in your practice, as more and more issues will come along your way as you are starting to implement these services, you might give up sooner than you know. So I think realizing and understanding that why is more important than anything else, because that's what's going to decide how much of a success you have with this type of an approach. So that's what module 1 includes. And as boring as it sounds, I think it's extremely important to have that clarified. The second module is identifying the right clients for telehealth. So, like I said, just like telehealth is not for every physical therapist, it's not suitable for all patients either. And if you have policies and procedures set in place of how you can identify these right clients early on, who are the ideal fit for your telehealth practice, it will save you a lot of headache and trouble in the long run, both to you as well as your patients. So it doesn't mean that every single person who calls your clinic should and will benefit from telehealth. That's not going to happen. So who is the right candidate, how you can screen those, how you can give them the best chance and not let their non-tech savviness get in the way of making that decision. Having an objective way to kind of walk through that process is what module 2 is all about. So these are the slides covering here. This is the module 2, identifying the right clients for telehealth. We also have a screening tool from our practice that we use to identify clients' eligibility for telehealth, and that's included in the course as well. And of course, you can modify the screening tools based on your own guidelines and the nature of your own practice. Module 3 is your step-by-step guide to set up your video sessions. A walkthrough of step-by-step of how to set up a video session the right way, the most effective way, in a way that patients value and experience telehealth in the same way as they experience an in-person session. And you are giving them the best possible chance of getting exactly the same or better outcomes from a telehealth session as they would get from an in-person session. So I think this is a good one. And the equipment recommendations of the equipment I use in my practice. Of course, these are just my recommendations and you are welcome to do your own research, but it's just a quick startup guide for someone who doesn't have the time to, do the research and look out for different options. Module 4 is preparing your clinical skills from hands-on to a virtual session. Like I said, in this module, even though I am trained in the McKinsey method, my goal is to help you transition your existing clinical skills to a virtual platform, although my teachings could be heavily influenced with my own training. But the goal of this module is to give you ideas of how you can effectively transition your existing clinical skill set to a virtual skill set and kind of go from there. These are the slides and some of the sample videos and programs that we use to kind of guide our patients through the telehealth program. Module 5 is marketing telehealth to your patients. This is my snippet review of what has worked for our practice to market telehealth to our patients. What are some of the barriers we have encountered? What are some of the objections that we get on a regular basis from patients for trying out telehealth visits? What about hands-on physical therapy? That's almost like a number one thing, and how we deal with those objections and encounter those objections. How to market telehealth slides are available, and this is a sample online workshop. So we also talk about how you can use telehealth, not just for treatment, but also for different, other things, like I said, for wellness, for educating your patients, for coaching purposes. So sky's the limit when it comes to technology. And this is one of the sample online workshops that we have in our practice on a regular basis. And here's module 5. This is a telehealth case study of one of my patients who's I have his permission to share his case study with you. So it's going to give you a basic idea of how I kind of walk through my patients through a telehealth session. Then there are recommendations to the online software that we use. I get a lot of questions about how we get our patients to fill out the forms, how do we collect payments, and how do we do all these, the logistics covered when we don't even get to be in the same room with the person ever. And we have a process built out for this from start to finish, right from where they fill out the forms to booking their appointments to collecting payments each session. All of this in a HIPAA compliant manner. And I'm going to be uploading an additional video giving you a walkthrough of our system of how we go through it. Of course, like anything else, you're welcome to do your own research, but this is how we do it in our practice that makes our life a lot easier. This is our 5-step checklist to add telehealth to your practice, and also gives you, couple research papers. And like I said, I keep updating all this stuff on the regular as more and more research is coming out. I keep updating it in the course, and this last is a copy. You get lifetime access to our telehealth webinar that we had a few months ago, where we had practitioners from different parts of the world attended. We have different questions answered, and it was a great webinar to get access to. So I'm going to stop sharing the course here. So hopefully this gives you a good idea of who the course is for and what it includes. Obviously, if you are the right candidate for the course, only then I want you to go ahead with the course, because only if you're the right fit for it. Like I said in the start of the course, who it is for, will it make sense for you to go ahead and get the real value out of this class. Also, it gives you access to my private Facebook group, Telehealth-talks, which I think is a great resource. And we are building on a great community of like-minded, enthusiastic physical therapists who don't want to be bound by the rules and regulations and want to safely, effectively make use of technology to extend their immense valuable services to now globally with technology. So I think that's a great community to be a part of, where we are constantly learning and sharing updates. So I think the Facebook group would be a good place for you to start if you are on the fence. And if you have any more specific questions about the course, feel free to reach out to me at taruna@healthwatcherspt.com, or you can also send me a private message on Facebook. So take care. Bye-bye.